We're going to do a quick unboxing and first impression of the Boldr Voyager, which is a diver from Boldr, B-O-L-D-R. You can, if you're interested, they do have more of these available. They're on pre-order currently at $219. Most of them are sold out. The one we're going to take a look at tonight is going, if assuming I've got the right one delivered, is a brown-colored face, kind of hints a little bit of burgundy, so it's kind of a reddish brown, which is really nice because these are brass divers, very similar to bronze. They'll age, they'll get a patina, just something slightly different. So I actually don't have a brass diver, and I do have bronze, so I thought it would be kind of fun to try this one out, and the price is pretty decent. It's basically a 200-meter water rating, marine grade brass, and double dome sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, a Seiko NH35A movement, which is the one you really want to have in a diver. It's probably the most robust one there is. So it's good stuff, and the price is awesome, $219. However, there is one catch. If you're interested in getting one of these, right now, for pre-order at least, there are 4 color schemes. The brown's already sold out. That's the one I should have here. The green has gone already. I really like the green. It was an unusual green. Black's gone. I think there's enough black divers out there that I was kind of surprised that one sold out already. And the final color that is available is blue. Now you may have some sunburst blues. Let's get this open while we start chatting. You may have some sunburst blues that you've purchased before. That's great. This is not a sunburst blue. It's actually a matte blue, but it works really well. It's a sandwich dial, which is more expensive than your typical dial with applied indices. And it's got a very nice kind of old-fashioned style loom job on it. So let me just go check the spec here. I do believe that's obviously a Swiss Superluminova. I think it's the old radium. Yep, it says so. Old radium. Excellent. So it looks really nice because you're going to have brass hands, a brass watch. You could treat the outside with the chemical if you wanted, so it doesn't age, and you can keep the shiny look, or you can just let the patina develop over time. So let's see what we have here. And this is my first order from Boldr, so it'll be kind of interesting to see how this works out. They've been around for a while. They have a number of campaigns. In fact, they've got another campaign going, The Expedition, which is a field watch. I almost backed that one on Kickstarter, but I kind of passed at the last minute because I just had too many watches going. So basic thin cardboard box, nothing fancy. Looks nice enough though, right? I like the fact that it's not overly sized. I know people love the presentation boxes, but to be honest, if you get a lot of watches, you've got to store the boxes somewhere in case you have to send it back for repair, or you want to sell it later if you want to go for a grail piece or find you don't like it or whatever reason. So smaller the better, in my opinion. So this is a nice small box. It's going to make it really easy for shipping. Boldr Be More. Well, nothing else apart from that on there. Okay, so as we're doing the unboxing, first impression, it's interesting. We've got a plastic warranty card. Interesting. And they should be, well, they actually did bother to type that as opposed to handwriting. So you've got a serial number and a batch code and a Boldr Voyager. So I guess that's useful. It doesn't tell me how long the warranty is for. I'll have to go check my order. To be honest, I wasn't too bothered for the price. How to use the watch. It's so, I guess you fold this card in half and then it's storable or something. But to be honest, I'm short-sighted and I'm going to have trouble reading that even with my glasses on. So we'll just pass on by and try and get to the interesting stuff, the watch itself. Okay. Well, that didn't take long at all. So I like the fact that you've got a hard foam insert there, so it's not going to get banged up too much. There is a protective cover on the front of the watch, I can see that. And on the back. Now there should be some unique serial number or something. So let's just get this strap off. I know that it's a custom, it's supposed to say custom on the back. Let's actually see what we have here. First of all, by the way, the weight's not too bad. I expected a little bit heavier on brass. It's my first brass, but it's not too bad. Oh, that's really nice. I don't know if you can see the I'm not quite sure what that is. I suppose that's some kind of octopus or squid. I'm not really into sea creatures, so somebody can correct me on that. But the engraving is it's a laser etching, I would think, but it's quite well done, so it's quite readable. Marine brass case, sapphire crystal, SAI, that's Seiko, I can't remember, Instruments International or something like that. Caliber NH35A. NH35 is their off-the-shelf automatic, so it's an automatic watch. It does hack. The A is automatic, and it does hand wind, and then you have a date option as well on it as well. So it's pretty nice. It's not a high beat movement, but it's a really reliable and robust low beat movement. So it's a little bit better than maybe a Miyota 8 series, but not quite as good as Miyota 9. But the kind of thing you're going to get in this price watch, you're going to have to be doubling the price if you want to get something much nicer than that, really. But yeah, I really like this logo. It does feel a bit... there's some dirt or something behind the logo. So that's not maybe... finishing. I'm going to just try and rub this with a cloth very gently. Does that rub off? Is it just dirt from the shop? No, it doesn't rub off. So I don't like that. So that's one thing I'm noticing right away. I really don't want to have dirt or some... It's not... This isn't brass at the back. So you always have a stainless touching the wrist because, sometimes you get a little bit of a reaction or green color come off, particularly from bronze, if you have bronze directly touching your wrist. But anyway, I'm cleaning this up and it doesn't clean up, so I don't like that. I don't know if you can see at all well with the because you're getting a camera here, my eyes are going to be perhaps seeing it a little bit better, but there is some dirt just about everywhere. It's could be oxidization from the tape or some material on this particular sticky protective back. I'm going to have to give it a wash, and if that clears up, I'm going to post an update in the comments. So if you don't see an update in the comments, that will mean this dirt's still here. So what's the point of having a nice back if it looks dirty? I like to keep mine clean. So I really don't like the fact it's not just unfinished. It's some kind of effect that's made it go a little brown there. This could also be from the strap potentially. Not too happy with that, but it's the back of the watch, it's not the front, so that's the main thing. So let's get this back. There we go. And let's look at the front. And here we go. So the brown matches really well with the strap. This strap, by the way, also has the same material, but I'm noticing this is a dull look to the material on the strap here, whereas the case isn't. Though I get that the case is going to age if you don't treat it, but I would have expected them to both start the same. So for want of a better word, I don't even know what these pieces of metal are called. The rings on the strap here, I would have expected them to look the same as the case in terms of if the case is dull, they'll be dull. If the case is shiny, they'll be shiny. So that's a first impression, not great, but the colors go. It's but it looks like it's a different material. It's probably the same material, but I guess it's kind of hard to source straps separate to the cases, right? So you're never going to get exactly the same issue. But you could maybe you can. That's something that they could perhaps address. I do like the crown, not so much for the logo. There is a logo on there. Let's move this stuff out of the way here. But there's also kind kind of a double. There's a line going through this, but it kind of makes it a little bit different to just the normal grip. It's certainly easy to grip. So let's I see the watch is already running, but let's unwind this and play with some of the settings a little bit just to see how this looks. Well, first of all, it winds up really nicely. 12, 13, again, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's about 20. And then let's pull it out one stop. I don't see the date, but I'd rather not have a date on this. It would kind of ruin the look of this. So if one stop does nothing, and the second stop it should hack. So we'll just, there we go, it's hacked. And then you can obviously adjust the time, and we don't really care too much about the date because they're not showing the date wheel basically. So even though it's an NH35A and there's a date wheel in there, we're not exposing that in the watch face. But you know, it seems to come out really nicely. Screw it down. Yeah, everything here has been really smooth, so it's well assembled, I would say, as much as one can tell just from doing that. Let's have a look, see if there's a dome to this. There is a dome, but it comes in really early. Let's get some backing behind this so you can see the dome better. Something darker maybe. Yeah, so there's a slight dome there, which you can feel and see. Reflection wise, I've got a light above. This is an indoor office. In fact, you can see me there. Woohoo! Is that me? It's something there anyway. But it's so you are going to get a little bit more reflection than you normally get here indoors with the camera light on and so on. But it's pretty good. And this is I'm really happy with the look of the dial. It's not sunburst. It's flat. It's a brown look. The bezel is working great. There's no back play. Oh, there is a back play of one. Once you've gone back, it doesn't move anymore. So let's do 2 clicks. Yep. So that's see that goes back half a minute, and then you move it forward, and then it goes back half a minute. So it's got a play of a half a minute, which is other watches do that. You just kind of get used to the feel of it. Yeah. So I'm just playing with this one more time. It's actually not too stiff, which is good, but it's not loose. It hasn't got play just by wobbling it. Well, so let me be careful about how I give the wrong impression here. There's no wobble play, but if you really push, you can make it go back about half a turn. There we go. So the design's actually really nice. You've got the cutout for the quarter hours of the Roman numerals, sorry, Arabic numerals, and on a sandwich underneath. So that should end up with a pretty good loom job, I would think. So overall, I kind of like the look of this thing. I am disappointed with the back, though it is hidden by this strap, so it probably wouldn't put you off. But it puts me off because I tend to try this on different things. I'm not going to try this on a bracelet because you're not going to get a bronze, or in this case a brass bracelet. So I guess most of the time a NATO strap, but I actually like to sometimes even use leather straps too, though. I have some leather straps with the very kind of soft brown look to them, kind of like a suede look. That could work quite well with this, and they're kind of beige coloured, so lighter, more like the case colour. So that would go pretty well with this. This is a 20mm lug width. I think we covered the basics. I don't remember the sizes, so let's just go take a quick look. I normally have this done beforehand. I want to measure this with the strap. That's deliberate, because on the wrist your strap goes underneath if you're going to use the existing strap. So there we go. It's 13.8 with including the strap. Was 18.3? Yeah, 18.3. Let's get that right. So with this case thickness is supposed to be 13.5mm, but you've got a double strap there. So if you're just going to wear this on the wrist, the case without the strap is pretty useless, right? So I'm including the dome. because you're going to need to make the space for all of that on your wrist. So it's actually a higher number. It was like 18.5. But I mean, it's not that it's misleading or anything. It's just that you really want to cater for a NATO or a Zulu style strap if you're going to have a strap that passes underneath. If you have a two-piece strap, you're going to save that space. So it's probably a better fit for you. But height-wise, that's still pretty good for the diver. It's not too wide. It's a 42 millimeter. And it does, as mentioned, it's a 660 feet, which is a 200 meter water rating. It's 20 atmospheres. And I'm really going to see if I can get a night shot in here, which I'll probably do after we've finished here. Let's just get this under a light for a few seconds. I don't think it's going to show unless I actually turn all the lights off here, and I'll probably be better with a still camera. But if I... Nope. You can't pick up on that really, can you? So it was worth a shot, but I'll get a night photo in here from my camera when we're done. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, throw them into the comments and I'll try and get them answered. So for $220, am I happy? Yes, I am. A little bit unhappy about the back because what's the point of having a really nice engraving on the back if it's got some kind of markings all over it underneath the engraving or to the side of the engraving. So a little bit unhappy about that. Not really a showstopper. A little bit unhappy about the rings not matching the case, but you know, that's me being finicky. I think nobody else is going to notice really. Your typical passerby that might admire your watch here or somebody you show it to, I don't think they'll typically pick up on that. I do love the look of it, so I'm really happy. $220, a really robust watch. You can actually use it as a diver. You want to go skin diving or something, that would work. It's got a really nice, I would say, a burgundy bezel more than brown. It's kind of half brown, half burgundy. You know, the brass has a gold look to it. So you've got, what's this reminiscent of? I guess it's somewhat reminiscent of maybe a Black Bay, a Tudor Black Bay bronze. Color scheme wise, but they're not trying to copy that. They've got their own design. Especially with a sandwich dial, this is something very different, but you know, colors, you've got the kind of almost reddish brown burgundy, and you've got a brass rather than a bronze color, but it's in the same family. So definitely it's really a clean dial. Pity it's not a sunburst. I think that would have made it a little bit nicer, but it's got a really nice kind of flat brown effect to it that I like. It's a little bit different to the norm. And you don't want to have all your watches the same, so I think this one's probably going to end up as a keeper. I'll get some wrist shots in there as well, and we'll probably see how that turns out. And if I end up wearing this, I'll post a couple of wrist shots at the end too. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care.